So a few weeks ago, I made a video where I showed how to make a wardrobe slash nightstand combo type of unit. We needed something for our condo in Florida, and I made it. You can go back and watch the video right here. But I made it, took it to Florida, set it up, and you'll see at the end of the video that I felt like something was missing. I thought it needed doors. And so here we are a couple weeks later, and we're in Ohio, and winter is creeping up on us, and my boys are just finishing up their football season, getting ready to start their wrestling season. And so we have about a 1 week window possibly to go back to Florida, and my wife needs that sunshine before the winter hits. So my thought was I might as well try to get some doors done and take them down. Now, why are you watching this? Because I'm gonna show you how to make doors, and the great thing is you can do this same exact technique to make barn doors for in your house, any other kind of door. It's very simple. I'm just using pine. You can see right here beside me, and it's all 1x4s. I'm gonna paint it, so I don't really care about knots and things like that, but you can use this technique to build doors for yourself very easily. You need some just real basic woodworking knowledge, how to use a saw and some things like that. Everything else is nails or screw and glues, and it's done. So I'm gonna run through that real quick with you. This should be a fairly short video. It's a pretty basic technique. I'm building 2 doors, but I'll just show you how I do one of them. And if you want to build one yourself, you can run with it from there. So let's get started here. All right, so I attached one board across the bottom. Unfortunately, I forgot that the microphone wasn't on. So we're gonna start with the middle board. All I did, clamped it across like so, just to draw all the pieces together, put glue on the back, and I have marks where I want this to be, and I'm just gonna clamp it in place. I'm actually, I decided to use screws on the back. Again, this is gonna get painted, so I'm gonna just paint over the screws. It's something I usually don't do. In this case, I just want these to hold on real well, and because they're everything's a little bit warped, and some of these boards aren't the straightest, I'm just gonna glue them and screw them. It'll be fine. Nobody's ever gonna notice. And especially since they're gonna be on the inside, nobody's gonna notice. So the last thing I'm going to do on this is I'm going to have a cross piece that goes from here to here. I'll also do the same thing here, and it's going to be an angular piece that's going to go this way from this corner to that far corner over there. So I am holding this corner on that point right there. I'm going to get this other corner on this point right here. That's going to be where it's going to be. I'm just going to mark. Because I'm painting this, it doesn't matter. I'll mark that. And then I'm actually going to mark where the cross piece meets the horizontal piece. There, I'm trying to get some up underneath. It's hard to do right here. It's pretty easy to do right here. So I got a little bit of a mark there. I know where it is here, and I'll be able to connect the two lines. So again, right here, I can get up underneath here into this corner. Over here, I can't. So I'm just gonna mark where it's gonna be. Now I'll flip it over. I'll transfer that mark over here. Down here, I'll transfer the mark right there. And I just use the square then to connect the two lines. There's one end. And there's my other end. So now I'll go to the saw, I'll cut this, and then I'll bring it over and we'll attach it. That's all there is to it. I'll screw the back on or screw it through the back and we should be good. So with these doors, I need to put hinges on them. Again, I am taking these from Ohio to Florida, and so I'm gonna get them all painted while I'm here. And I also want to get the hinges on them. And what I bought were the Euro style hinges and this Craig concealment hinge jig. And so I'm gonna unbox this, take a look at it. Never used it before. I have used those hinges before, but they've always been pre-drilled on cabinet doors. So I'm going to mount those hinges on this door. I've got a little special idea on how I'm gonna paint these doors because I'm leaving tomorrow and I need to get primer and coats of paint on both sides of these doors. So I have a bit of a limited time to get this done. So we're gonna tear into this and see what it's like. So here it is, the Craig concealed hinge jig. So what it looks like it has is, it has a bit and a jig used to drill these holes. And there's the bit. There's also what looks to be a stop collar. And an Allen wrench for the stop collar. Comes with a little thing that shows their other products. Don't need that. Instruction manual. Probably will need that. So basically what this does, and this is the front side of my door, but if it were the back, you mount this wherever you want it to be, and there's adjustments here. I do need to learn how to make those adjustments. And then a stop collar to control your depth. And you plunge down in to whatever depth it is and back out, and it controls exactly where you drill your holes so you're precise. So I'm gonna figure this out and show you how it works. So after reading the instructions for my hinges and the instructions for this jig, I have come up with a plan here. I think I fully understand it. So the jig has a stop collar, and I just made it the lowest it could possibly go. And then I double checked it with my hinge, and it looks like if I go the whole way down like I plan on doing, the hinge should be deep enough and should set perfect. So I think the depth is right. Now I just got to reading in the instructions, and for the jig it says it wants to know the distance from the door edge to the hole center according to what the instructions for the hinge is. And all the instructions for the hinge are 20.5 millimeters, 21.5 millimeters, and so on. And this says even numbers, 21, 22, 23 millimeters. And fortunately, I think I actually want 21 because 20 and a half is 13/16 overlay, which is, well, yeah. You know, that's a 16th over a quarter, or yeah, 16th over 3/4. I don't think I can go any more than that. So what it says here is consult your hinge manufacturer's instructions for the distance from the edge of the door to the edge of the 35 millimeter hinge cup hole. So mine says it needs to be 3 millimeters. So it says using a flat blade screwdriver, it wants me to turn these gray screws to the 3 millimeter line. So right now there's a little index thing right here. It's set on 5 right now. It wants me to turn this to where 3 is on that line on both of these. And what that'll do is it'll adjust this the correct distance from the edge. And then what I would need to do is position this the correct distance from the top of the door and from the bottom of the door when I get to that point. And they recommend the instructions for the hinge to make it 2.5 inches from the top and the bottom. Well, this jig actually has the ruler already on it. So there is 2.5, and then it wants you to clamp this in place before you drill. So we're just ready to drill now. I'll clamp this. And let's see, make sure this thing fits. I feel like it could be a little deeper. just discovered something. Look at that. It actually comes out. That's so convenient. So now I can work on the drill. I can position this. It's so convenient. I'm very glad I just saw that. And I'm going to adjust the stop collar, which also means I got to change the depth of the bit. Make it go just a little deeper. I wasn't completely pleased with the depth there. Felt like it was hitting the bottom. Alright, so I'm going to put this back in. It's so awesome. Man, I'm glad I bought this. Makes things 100 times easier. I'll just turn that back out. Boom. Now we should be good. Like that a lot more. Really nice fit. Okay, one more to do, and then we're ready to hang this up, and I'm actually going to paint it on the hinges. So as I've already mentioned, I need to get these things painted quick. So what I've come up with is I'm actually going to mount them to the wall. Got hinges, I can mount it to the wall, I can flip the doors either way, paint both sides. I don't have to wait for dry time to flip. And I'm actually going to spray them. I got a paint sprayer here that I bought on Amazon for pretty cheap, and it works really well. I've used it before. And so I'm going to set this up right now. I'm just going to screw it up here. I really don't care if I get paint on this. It probably needs painted anyways, to be honest. So I'm just going to do it like this. Quick little tip on a way, if you have the spot, you can paint. Now I'm going to put some stuff behind here so I don't get overspray on everything. But if you have a place to do it, it's actually a good way to do it. Shouldn't be any problems with it, and it'll be very efficient for me. Alright, so these should work fine. I can easily paint both sides. The only thing I gotta watch is the hinges. I might put a little masking tape on those. I don't care that much, honestly, if they get paint on them. I probably should, but I don't. Just because of where it's going and what I'm doing with it. So, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth the time to mask it off or not. I probably will. And then I can just spray the whole thing. Should be good to go. So I'm gonna get on that right now. Okay, so I have this airless sprayer, and I had the hinges taped off. As soon as I moved swung the doors open and closed, it just ripped the tape. So I just decided to pull it, and we'll see how this is gonna go. I'm gonna do a little test hit right here. It's spraying good. All I have in it right now is a primer. So I'm going to prime these, and then I'll let it dry. It says an hour, and then I'll get the paint out. Okay, so that's already all done. I do need to paint the bottom and the top, so I'm gonna get a brush and do that. Now I'm just gonna clean up, cleans up with water. You basically run the paint out of this, and run soapy water through this, and clean up the nozzle, and it's done. It's a real time saver. So while I'm waiting for this to dry, I just wanted to show you the sprayer I used. So it's this Finish Max Super Paint Sprayer made by HomeRite. And again, I got this on Amazon. I bought it about a year ago. And it is really convenient for doing stuff like this. I've actually used it to paint rooms already. Painted walls, painted ceiling in a basement room. Real simple sprayer. You can increase the pressure. There's two different tips. One's for fine finish, one's for I don't know what they call it, but not fine. And then you easily take it off, and there's different nozzles. There's 3 different nozzles. This one's the medium one, and that just determines how wide the cone is that sprays out of it. So there's a fine, or a small, a medium, and a large. I use the large one for the primer. The instructions say to use the medium one for painting for like cabinets and furniture. So that's what we're going to use. Other thing it comes with is, it comes with 2 containers, and one of them actually has a lid. So the great thing about this is you can keep painting here. If you are waiting for it to dry, you know you're not done, you don't want to clean up the container, you can put that lid back on, it seals it up, and use it the next day or whatever. So you probably want to clean your sprayer out, but you can keep paint in one of those containers. So really nice sprayer. I will put a link to it on Amazon. I have no clue right now how much it costs, but I remember thinking it was very reasonable, because I have a larger spray that I used when I was flipping houses. It was like $600 sprayer, and this was under $100. I don't remember exactly how much it was, but a lot easier to use. The other one has a cart, and it's big air hoses, and it was a pain. So being able to use something like this is really nice. We'll let this dry, and then I'll spray on the cabinet and trim paint, and we should be good to go. I think the way that primer covered, I think I might be able to get away with 1 coat of this cabinet and trim paint. All right, I put some trim paint on here. So I'm gonna spray these. This is the same paint I used on the cabinets that these are going on, so everything should match. Okay, now I just got to paint the top and the bottom and let it dry. Not positive yet if I need another coat. If I do That's gonna wait till tomorrow morning because it's getting close to the end of the day. Okay, so now I'm on site in Florida. Got the door here. I got my cabinet marked where the hinge goes. I'm gonna mount that bracket to the door or to the cabinet. Then I'll attach the door to that bracket and it should be good to go. Alright, so I have the bracket mounted to the cabinet. Now I just got to attach the hinges back onto that bracket. They just slide on like so. I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom. You can adjust how the door hangs just by tightening this upper screws in and out. So I'm just going to make some adjustments to it. So the last thing I need to do is just put some handles on. The handle I got, it's like this, and it's 3 inches between the 2 points. So I'm gonna just center it on here. We're gonna go find the center, 3 inches, and I'm gonna come in, I don't know, maybe 1.5 inches from the edge, and that's where we're gonna put it. It's nice if you have one of those guides, those templates that you just drill. I didn't have one here. I have 2 of them at my shop, but I don't have one here. So we're just gonna have to do it without the template. So I'm gonna measure in 1.5 inches, make a mark. Inch and a half, make a mark, and then if I want to center it on here, I've got to be 1.75 inches is the center, and then I want to go up 1.5 inches, so I should be 1/4 inch off of this top and 1/4 inch off of that bottom, and that should get my points that I need. And I'm going to double check this in case I did the math wrong. Those should be 3 inches apart. Looks good to me. Alright, so now, typically when you drill a hole, you want something behind it to support the wood because it'll splinter out the back side. I have nothing here to do that with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a small hole first, and that will show me, I'll have a center on both sides then. I can cut a little bit on the back side and then drill through from the front with the larger hole, and it should stop that splintering. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to open this up. I have my larger bit. And I'm not going to drill through, I'm just going to start it. So I just started the hole. Now I should be able to go the whole way through with no issues. There you can see it's done. Have another door to do. Once I do that, we'll take a look at the whole room. So you can see everything is complete. They match the barn doors that I made last year for here, which was what my intention was. They also match the headboard. Has kind of a beach feel to it and serves the dual purpose that we were looking for. So now people can hang clothes up in this section. They still have a nightstand right over here, and you can see the clock right over there. So it serves all the purposes we need. So that's what we were going for. If you liked the video, if you liked what we had to show you, if you learned anything, please hit that like and subscribe button. Leave us a comment, something maybe you saw that you got an idea from, question you had. We'd love to hear from you. If you have any future projects that you would like for me to make, possibly for yourself, and you would have a video on YouTube of the actual item being made, that's always there, something kind of cool to have, get a hold of me and we'll see what we can figure out. Thanks again for watching. Check out some of these videos on this next end card here, and we'll see you next time.